All right, there we go. So yeah, today is not about a big paperwork or figuring out how to do specific documents or anything like that, but it's about how you present yourself, your professional identity out there, right? As a real estate agent, building trust with people and how they see what you put out there and very instantly make a determination about you, right? Within the 3 seconds. That's essentially how you brand yourself. It's not necessarily about the colors you use or some logo, but about the way you present consistently, right? So that's what we want to talk about today. And that you're not just a licensed agent, you're a public facing professional brand. And that's because this is a business of connections with people, relationships. You're not just some person they're picking off of a list and saying, I'm gonna go work with that guy. They want to know you, right? They want to feel comfortable with you. They want to feel like they trust you. And one of the first things that they see is your picture or your Facebook page or your business card or something like that, right? Your yard sign. Sometimes that'll have your photo on there and information about yourself. And it's about how you present that. How does it look? You've seen lots of different signs from lots of different agents. They all look very, very different. So each one's choosing those options for themselves. Sorry, this is so small. I should have got my glasses.
I was wondering how you were doing that.
Because apparently, can't see far away or close up anymore. I'm blind in both directions.
It never gets better.
Yeah, I just finally got to the age where I have to start carrying these things around. Fun. Oh, look at that. So yeah, wait, did I get
No, that was
used here?
Yeah, no, you're here.
Okay, so before we talk about your brand, let's understand something important. That branding is not design, right? It's about the perception that you give people about yourself. Every single one of you has already had some emotional reactions to certain brands that you see because you see them all the time and they connect with certain ideas in your head. And you don't even really know why sometimes. You just see it and you're like, oh, you get a feeling, get a feeling. Maybe it's subtle. You don't even notice it that you do get one, but you get one. I'm gonna say the name of a brand. Don't overthink it. Just answer with one word. Apple.
Technology.
How does Apple make you feel? Not what you think of, but how does it make you feel?
Get an eraser. I'll be right back. I'm gonna write these down.
As compared to any other technology brand, for example. You see the Apple sign. What do you feel?
So you feel like it's a higher tier.
Okay.
Say.
Okay. So they're better. They're more impressive. They're more modern.
Sure.
One thing you'll notice is Apple rarely talks about specs when they do when they talk about their products. They sell confidence and simplicity. Everything is easy and simple with us. It's the thing they always try to get across with their brand. Starbucks. What feeling do you associate with Starbucks?
Expensive coffee.
Expensive.
Tastes good.
Okay.
Taste, no bad taste.
The regular coffee, because I
Yeah.
get regular coffee.
I-
It always tastes burnt.
It's
I don't
very,
like- I don't like
it's.
Any feeling that you get when you see the Starbucks sign around the corner?
It's a comfort to know it's something familiar and.
Yes.
Okay.
Familiar.
Comforting. Okay.
Comfort. That's what I was thinking, comfort.
One of the things that they shoot for is that you're not buying coffee. They want you to think of an experience.
You definitely don't get an experience there. They don't deliver that.
Every time you go get coffee, something's happening. You're meeting someone, you're talking to someone, or maybe these days it's so commonplace that everybody's getting a Starbucks every morning. But that's what they were always shooting for with their brand.
I think several years ago, it was more this way. I think Starbucks is definitely going
Become
through a
something different.
transition. You know,
Yeah.
they've already closed a bunch of stores. I think they're in a place where they don't know where they're going next. So I think that can even be the lesson, you know, they're trying to give off a vibe and they did it well for very many years, but now they're kind of, they're going through a thing and we know it, right? We know it.
We see the shift.
We see it.
Yeah.
So that's how branding can be so subtle. Like, this was very eye-opening, like in that, where they're at right now.
Yeah.
So, thank
Or
you.
here's another really big one, Target. What do you feel? I know what girls feel.
I don't know what I feel, 'cause I shop at Walmart.
I think value.
Definitely value, yeah, but also fun. I don't know, I see Target and I'm like, I'm not have to buy anything, I'm gonna look around.
That's right, it'll take all your money real quick.
Yes, they will.
It's a dangerous place to go.
Yeah.
Very dangerous.
Especially with children.
Oh, God.
And they've always shot to stay a discount place that's affordable, but to make it like a more of an experience, an elevated experience, a fun thing. It's Target. Exactly. Exactly.
It's Walmart, it's
It's
the
better than
better
Walmart.
class than Walmart.
Yeah.
It's in price and spread.
Oh, it's like Walmart, but without all the weird people there.
Oh, my God.
Sorry, Phil.
Okay.
I've seen so many
Yeah.
things at Walmart, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's true.
So, yeah, your brand is not necessarily design, it's the reaction that people are getting from seeing it, right?
Feeling, the vibe.
Exactly. So new agents struggle with these things of what do I say about myself with my branding? Who am I trying to help? Why should someone choose me? How do I want to present this, right? In that front facing, way that you put yourself out there in your signs and in your Facebook pages and in all these different places. Before we answer these questions, we're gonna go look at your mission, vision, and values. So if you want to have clarity on these things a little bit, and if you don't yet, that's okay. This can be part of your homework, right? This can be part of really narrowing down on that and making sure you understand that for yourself. 'Cause it's gonna be different for every single one of you.
Yeah.
Become clear on that and then internalize it, and then, I'm not sure what you meant by compass.
No, use that as your compass.
Use that as your compass.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Then there's your action plan.
Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. I think when you answer these questions, you end up realizing what kind of language you want to use in your bio, for example, or what kind of tone you want to use in your social media stuff. I was talking to Bobby about this. I've never really focused on a branding look. I don't have specific colors I use or certain fonts or anything like that, because I never really found anything that screamed me, but all my stuff is funny. If you look at my pages, probably the only thing that isn't is my signs. Because I don't know how to make them funny, but I like that. For me, putting in some laughter and a little bit of haha into something that is, maybe complicated and a little stressful is the way I like to do that, and that's just what I do all the time anyway for everything. So, I want to put that out there and say, this is the kind of agent I am, because that's the person I am. And if you don't like this, there's another guy for you somewhere, this is me. There you go. Present yourself.
Yeah.
I come with jokes.
But I'm fun.
Yeah, I come with jokes and probably some inappropriate humor at times. But if you don't like that, that's okay. But I think it's very easy when you're a new agent to say, well, what am I supposed to look like?
Right.
What am I supposed to present myself like? How do I look and act professional?
Or that like.
Or what do I have to do to get people to like me and want to work with me? And the thing is, that is so hard to let go of that question until you feel a little more comfortable doing the job,
Yeah.
quite frankly. But the sooner you can let go of that and just say, here's who I am, here's how I am. Who wants this? It's like dating. You gotta be yourself. Why is it gonna screw it all up?
Right.
Right.
Are you on? Yeah.
Yeah, it's really hot in here. Please, if we can turn it down a little bit, that would be fantastic. So, yeah, you gotta be true to yourself. And, one question you can say is, what do I do for people today? What is the daily behavior that you naturally do best, right? What problems do you enjoy solving? How do clients feel after working with you? And that is definitely going to be different from each of you. You might enjoy the part of going home shopping and looking at houses and enjoying beautiful architecture. Or you might be really, really great at problem solving and love working with investors that are trying to like rehab a house. Or you might really, really love working with people who are retiring or people who are buying their first home, and you want to help them through that very, very important, stressful event. That's a big, big deal for them. And it's more of a, I'm going to be your best friend for the next, I don't know how long. And then after that, we're going to keep talking forever, you know, and you want to really, really connect with people. Or some people even, I think you find your niche when you answer these questions of what do you really enjoy doing out of this process? And what do you want to be doing every day? It might take a little time to figure that out, but you do find where you sit most naturally doing that. Let's go to the next slide. And it's cutting off just a little bit. Make me smaller. Oh, make me smaller. I can't make me smaller.
You're small.
I'm as
Maybe
small as I
bottom
can
right
get.
corner.
Okay, there we go. Thank you. Look at the techie over here. Okay, so your vision equals the reputation you want in 5 years. So as a little exercise, what do you want people to say when your name comes up? What would you like that to be? And what type of agent do you want to become known as? And when I say, what do you want in 5 years, I don't mean what are your goals for the next 5 years. I mean, what do you see your life as in real estate? What are you doing every day? And what do you want people to think of when they think of you?
Gets it done.
We're at a party and somebody brings up the name Ashley, and then what do people say next? Oh my God, I love her.
There you go.
So great.
That's your
She's
vision.
so helpful.
That's your vision.
Gets it done.
There you go.
I think it's done.
This.
Or another example could be to be like the trusted Inland Empire advisor
So much.
that helps families when there's like major life changes happening and they need another place immediately. That's a very typical thing for a lot of families. And not all agents are good at dealing with that. So those are just examples. You can think of what would be the thing for you that you would want, right? And when you kind of lock in to that idea, that's what your branding should reflect. That's what it should touch on a little bit each time, is towards that. Let's go a little further and say values. That would be more about how you work. Your non-negotiables, things that you absolutely have to have as part of the way you work. And this is the most useful part. I would think you can choose for example, you have transparency, responsiveness, education, and helping people understand the process. Staying calm under pressure, that's a big one. A lot of agents can do this. Some are really terrible at it. Being advocates and being involved in the community. I know that's huge for you. That's not such a big concern for other agents. Everybody picks their thing, right? So you have to pick what are the things that you really want to make sure are a part of your business, because this isn't just a job, right? Yeah, you're trying to get this good at this and you're learning something new, but this is your business now. So you're not just front facing yourself, it's your business as a whole. I know you're probably more familiar with that because you have your own business.
Yeah.
But that's a shift for a lot of people who are coming from, tell me what to do at my job. So, and I think that is also what guides us the most when things get hard. Because if anybody hasn't told you already, they're going to, and you're gonna find out anyway, so I'm just gonna tell you now. I don't care how much you know, I don't care how experienced you are, you're gonna come across some crazy, difficult, weird situation. On almost every transaction you do. Sometimes you get lucky and they're smooth, but the majority of the time, there's gonna be something complicated that comes up. There's gonna be something hard. There's gonna be something you've never had to deal with before, and you're like, oh my God. Or there's gonna be a million things hitting you all at the same time. And you gotta figure out how to stay cool, stay composed, get it done, do it the best possible way you can possibly do it, not screw anything up. And these non-negotiables, the things that you have to have behind you, that you stand behind, they're gonna help you do that. So you gotta kind of set those things for yourself right from the start. Because they really make all the difference when things get really hard, and they will. Just prepping you. You know, that's why we get paid so well, because we can deal with the hard stuff.
Exactly. It's not the easy stuff we're paid for.
It's like, you know, doing your own dental work. Can you? Sure. I'm sure they did it back in the day. They used to amputate their own legs too. I would not recommend it. Just use somebody who knows what they're doing. And that's why we come in, because anybody could do a lot of things that we do, but it's being able to be the best at it and help them get there. Now, I see that Bobby here had a little quick workshop, a little mini workshop that she suggested, where we write down your mission, vision, and values. And I'd like you to do that really quick on a little piece of paper or on that daily sheet. Just write a few words down
There's a little notebook in there too.
regarding.
Blue book, there's a little notebook.
You can always finalize this later. Just get some ideas on paper, even if they're just keywords.
Take 5 minutes.
Yeah,
I don't need 15.
and it's kind of a starting point. To
You want to
say,
back up to mission and so they can get the definition. It makes it a little easier. Okay, so one more forward.
one more.
Right, yeah, mission.
Yeah,
Your mission is, what do I do for people today? Who do you naturally help best? What problems do you enjoy solving? How do clients feel after working with you? So mission is like, it's just what it sounds like. I get up in the morning and my mission is to what?
right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
It's
always
more
gonna be,
today minded.
yeah.
And
And then the vision is who you want to become and who you want people to think of you as down the line. The ultimate,
it's the end game in 5 years.
yeah. Or less, I mean, whatever, it's
Or
just,
in
you
1
know,
year. Yeah, it doesn't have to be 5, but yeah, your vision.
how you
what's
want your
vision
identity
for
to,
you.
yeah. And
Well,
the
your
values
values.
are the things that you hold dear, that are your non-negotiables, the things that are most important to you.
Try to write down at least 1 or 2 for each.
And they'll kind of be a starting point for figuring out how you want to write details about yourself in your marketing, in your bio, in your resume, in your paperwork, in your marketing, all of it.
Mhm.
So people need to know who you are. And these are the key things that they're gonna either connect with or not, right?
And it's a starting point, right? Mine change, you know,
They
after a
did
year
change.
and I
Yeah.
kind of hit a certain point, then I about, elevated that. Like, okay, I'm not just selling a home. Now I want to do this.
Yeah.
Protect investment.
Grow. Values never changed, and we still want to be the most popular girl in our 2nd grade class.
Oh, gosh, yes. Even since I started with you, that this has totally changed for me, like 4 times at least, in a
Yeah.
significant way.
Well, your life has changed us.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, but even when I was here, still just learning how to do transactions and working in the first few years, I realized what I thought I would like doing and what I thought would fit really well for me ended up being like, maybe not. I like this other side of it more.
Wow.
you know, and
Cool.
I was really surprised to figure that out, but you have to kind of go through it sometimes to know. So right now, it's, when I say it's a starting point, it really truly is a starting point. It's not a big deal. You can change your mind.
Okay, is everybody done with that little exercise?
Okay. So branding does equal expectation, and that's what people can expect from you at the end of the day. People choose agents based on emotional safety. Will this person guide me? Will they protect me? Will they reduce the stress of this process? Your brand is going to answer these questions before you even ever talk to them because of what they see from what you put out there. One second. I gotta leave my mouse down here.
Mhm.
The clients, they're not, when they're thinking about who to choose, they're not really thinking, okay, I'm choosing a salesperson or a license or a particular transaction coordinator. They're thinking, I'm choosing this person that matches with me, this person that clicks with me in some way. They're looking for that connection because there's a lot of us around. And they're not picking us based on our name or even our photo. Well, sometimes our photo. It depends. Like I saw this photo one day of the sign outside, and it was this lady. She was very pretty. You know, she had her sign out in front. She had like there was a lot of boob
No.
in that photo. You know, it was like a very low cut. Like, here's my breasts, and I'm like, is that the place you want to do that? I was just like, okay. I'm just saying that creates an expectation.
Right. Exactly.
And maybe you think something of this image that you see before somebody's spoken. You have no idea of her background or knowledge or any of that, but you get an impression, right? Like, just, you know,
Be
you want to be
mindful.
mindful of what impression you want to give. Clearly, that's the impression she wants to give.
Right.
Or she just missed the mark.
Or she missed the mark.
Yeah,
Right.
which is probably closer to the truth.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And now, you know, it's, hey, show them if you got them, but maybe not there. It is a webcam.
Oh.
Oh my God. That bad, huh? Okay, so if they're not choosing a salesperson or a license or a transaction coordinator, what are they choosing? They're choosing confidence, right? They're choosing calm during stress. They're choosing someone who can protect them and have their back and negotiate for them, someone who feels right. And that one hit me the most, because someone who feels right, sometimes it could come down to, this person looks awfully chatty, I don't like that.
Yeah.
You know, or the opposite.
Mhm.
That person looks way too much like a lawyer. No thanks.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I remember I told you this when I came to, like, I don't want to work somewhere where I have to wear a suit.
Mhm.
Don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Worked in corporate before, don't like it. No, thank you, not for me.
Yeah.
If I can't go to my showings in a casual dress, then I'm not interested. That's one of the reasons I liked working with Bobby, because she's like, do whatever you want. You know, look professional, but
Yeah.
still.
Be yourself.
Look yourself,
Yeah.
right? And that's not the case everywhere. And so you're picking based on what you want. And if you want someone, you get so much from that, from those things that you see in their marketing. You get so much impression there. So you have to really be mindful of what impression do you want to give them, right? These are kind of the 4 archetypes of the different kinds of agent that you can come across as or actually be, right?
Mhm.
So when you're trying to think, well, what kind of agent do I want to be? What do I want people to think of when they think of me? Could it be that I'm the educator? I'm always educating and telling people information and helping guide them and understand things. Could it be that I'm really great at relationship building? I'm everybody's friend. I'm the most lovable person ever. Or that you are a professional advisor, that you are just like, you know everything and you're always gonna have the appropriate answer to whatever situation there is. Or that you're the go-getter. You're gonna get it done no matter what. They can count on that. We already know the go-getter over here. if you had to fall into one of these categories, which one do you think you are?
Go.
Go-getter? All right, we got two go-getters.
Adam?
At the moment, the go-getter.
Okay.
Oh,
Really?
nice.
Hmm.
Ashley, did that fit you correctly? Go getter?
I would like to be all of them, honestly.
Right.
No lie, I would like to be all of them. But definitely,
Is there one in particular that you kind of swing a little more
I feel like
towards?
relationship builder.
Okay.
I'm always a connector.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm great at building rapport and like, I was talking to Adam, I was like, I don't like being on, but I can turn it on and I can do it well.
Yeah.
So I'll think like I'm an extrovert, but
Hey,
like.
use your strengths. That's what you
Exactly.
have to do. Yeah.
Closet introvert.
Yeah. What about you, Bobby?
Oh, on this one, I'm definitely the educator.
That's how I feel too. Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
You're great at it.
I don't want people to ever be confused or like wondering what is happening.
Yeah.
That makes me very uncomfortable, like I didn't do something right, you know? So
Yeah.
yeah, I'd rather take longer
Sure.
and explain it more
Mhm.
personally.
Sure.
What about you, Chaz?
I'm the relationship builder.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, for sure. But I've evolved. I have evolved. I more like, I think I started out a very big relationship builder. It was all about community relations and those things. But now professional and go-getter, like professional advisor and go-getter.
I see the professional advice.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
More so than the other one. actually.
Really,
Mhm.
really.
And
So-
I see the evolution of that. too.
Yeah. I feel it. I feel it. That's why I say you're not gonna stay where you're at. And that's what's important because you need to know where you started
Mhm.
to know how you've evolved.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Very true.
so there's who you think you kind of fall into right now, and then you just have to think, is that what I actually want? Or would I want to be something else like Chaz, who kind of wanted to shift,
Yeah.
right? And maybe be seen a slightly different way.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, and all of these are equally important.
No, for
There's not one that I'd
Yeah.
say are not, is not. They're all equally important, but it's definitely who you are today that sticks out, I think,
Well, I take it like whole business, this same thing.
right?
It's all.
Yeah.
Mhm. It is all.
Okay, I like, you gotta get in there, figure it out, then go for it. Take it, let them know this is what,
Yeah.
This is what we got and,
Yeah.
let's go from there.
It looks like we're down to like 10.
Okay. Let me go a little faster because I think we got a lot of slides. Okay, so the characteristics here of
Yeah.
their work explains everything, data-driven, patient, and then tends to be a magnet for first-time buyers.
Mhm.
Makes sense because they know the least about this process, right? The relationship builder is more community focused, warm, approachable. Look at that smile. And very heavy on referrals. So once they make friends, they're gonna make really great friends. They're gonna get a lot more referrals, right?
Right.
The professional advisor, more calm, structured, and also tends to be trusted with more higher value clients, maybe on the high end purchases or,
Orange County, say.
Yeah.
you know, they're just higher prices. They're not necessarily more high end. But, you know, even commercial, things like that, you know, that can be more complicated,
Yeah.
right? You want somebody who really knows what they're doing, not like, I like selling houses.
Yeah.
You know, or the go-getter. And think investors or move up buyers, they love a go-getter agent. They're like, if I can call you at, 7:30 at night and just throw you an address and 2 minutes later, you're gonna have an offer for me, I want you.
Yep.
So
Very.
not every agent's gonna wanna work like that or be that person for them. I thought I was gonna like working with investors until I realized it was like that. And I'm like, hold up. And you don't wanna pay me? Oh.
They are investors.
I'm kidding. They pay, just
I
not as well. But there's a tie-in, you're the go-getter for the investor. They're also recommending you and giving
Yeah.
you a lot more work. So there's always shifts too and overlaps. So yeah. So none are better, right? But problems start when your branding says one thing, but your personality delivers another.
Yeah.
Your branding says you're super professional guy, but you show up in flip-flops and you're super casual, cracking jokes. That doesn't mesh and people get confused and they go, what did I get myself into here? So you just want to make sure that it puts out what you really want. Yeah. Okay. Some things to keep in mind regarding the branding choice.
Or your archetype, so, it's going to affect your choices in your headshot, your
Yeah.
bio wording, your email tone, even your fonts and colors, and your social posts, depending on which archetype you are.
Thank you.
For example, headshot style, if you're a relationship person, you might want to be more approachable looking rather than an authority type picture, right?
Right. We have a little exercise here that you can complete now or later if you want, but how do I want clients to feel after meeting me? What is one strength people already compliment me on? What type of clients naturally match my personality? And what do I never want clients to feel? So these are questions that I think if you answer them, they're gonna really help you figure out how do you want to come across.
I think
Right?
we could do that now.
Yeah.
Just take a couple of minutes. Just one word each. It's gonna help with the next exercise.
And while you do that, I'd say the thing to keep in mind is that your brand is the way you put your best professional self out there. And that you intentionally communicate that it's not by random, that it's by design, that it's not randomly just thrown together.
It's important to know that your clients are going to have a brand, they're gonna brand you. You're gonna have an impression on them, so you want to make your own impression. You don't want them to
Create one.
create one because
Yeah.
it may not be the one that you want, right?
And if you're not consistent with your branding, even at least in some degree, that's going to happen. They're just gonna put you in this bucket or that
Right.
bucket or whatever.
That's what humans do.
Yes.
And the important thing is that here at California Curb Appeal, and maybe this is the same everywhere, but I'm not sure. We want to make sure that we don't create fake personas of ourselves out
Yeah.
there. You have to try to put yourself out there the way that you really are, so people don't get upset with what they end up with. We help you clarify who you already are, and then you just present it in a professional and consistent way. With your marketing and with the things you use out there, like your signs, your business cards, your online pages, your website, your marketing pieces. Strong brands don't have to shout louder and louder, here's who I am all the time. They just become very clear and obvious. This is who this person is. The more you do this consistently. So is there anything in particular that you would want a client to feel after meeting you or that you never want them to feel?
I put warm and trustworthy. That's what I want them. to feel. And I don't want them to feel like I let them down.
Okay, good.
Mine is comfortable, to feel comfortable with me and not to feel pressure.
I like that. That's good. That's a big one, especially in our industry.
Especially. Adam?
Helpful and informative and that they don't leave with unanswered like questions.
Very good.
Answer all their questions.
Is there anything in particular that people already compliment you on? Or that something that people typically say about you?
I'm always late. No. Just kidding.
Okay.
No. Friendly and helpful.
Yeah.
That's usually what
Or what type of client naturally, do you think there's a type of client that naturally matches your personality? I know it's a harder question.
I get a lot of people that are just loving and kind.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
You attract what you put out there.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And it's okay. You don't want the clients that don't
No.
match your personality,
No.
honestly.
Those would be really hard to work with.
They're very difficult to work with.
Yeah. That's why it's tough sometimes when you get referrals, because weren't matched with you, they were kind of given, and you have to see if it clicks.
You have to find that common thread.
And if you ever feel like you can't, you can always refer them out again. I have somebody that can help us so well over here. Okay, so your first branding component will we will talk about is your profile photos, right? Your headshots. Why do photos matter? Clients judge your competence visually first, right? Your photo appears on the MLS, Zillow, your Savvy card on your phone, your social media sites. That's where a lot happens these days if you're on social media, and even in something as simple as your email signature. I never used to do that. I never used to put my photo in there, but now I'm like, oh, of course, everybody.
Last year now. Yeah.
Because I didn't really feel like it was that important before, but I've done both marketing with my photo and without my photo, and I can see absolutely using the photo is better every time, because they connect with you. Every time they see your face, they remember how they felt when they were with you.
It's a different level of authority when
Yeah.
you're seeing.
When you're seeing someone,
your
exactly.
communication.
Even I'll meet a lender on the phone, I'll talk to them, I'll have an impression of them. And when I see their photo in their email thing, I'm like, oh, that's who I'm talking to. You know, I don't know why, that just instantly, it consistently builds recognition, of course, but it also instantly just strengthens the bond a little bit.
Makes them human.
Yeah,
Yeah, makes them human.
yeah, it's not just another person on the end of the phone.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, social media is a big one, because I couldn't say enough. Be careful what you put out there.
Totally.
Check your
Yes.
social media, because people you think that might think the same way that you do or value things the same way you do. They may go look at that and then they see, oh, because you put a shout out to, I don't know, something. Even Trump, absolutely. You put out a shout out to Trump and you can have strong feelings one way or another. But you don't want that to pigeonhole you, because
Yeah.
just because you may have voted for Trump at one level, you may not like what he's doing now.
Yeah.
And so, but if somebody goes back to, just scrolls in and goes back to 3 years ago, they may think that you're a Trumpster.
Yeah.
And that's really not who you are now. So definitely just be mindful of what you put out there, even if you have a strong impression.
We're gonna
Or-
hit social media.
Oh, okay,
part
okay, sorry,
on
sorry.
another
It
day.
just was right on.
No,
Okay,
but that one is important,
Yeah, it
you
is.
know,
Part
because
of
it's not just.
Everyone can see what you like, everyone can see all those things.
And on social, it's not just a picture or text, it's usually video of yourself or a video of something that you're sharing. So that one, yeah, you do really have to pay attention to
So no
what you're
politics?
putting out there.
I wouldn't do any
No.
politics, no.
Politics, religion,
Oh, even religion.
all the
Okay.
big ones.
And now, religion though, a religion for me, I do a little bit of religion, like people can see through it because I am a strong believer, but I'm careful with
So
it.
many community events and activities that are
Right.
around your church.
My main thing is though, is I wouldn't put it out there, like you wouldn't want to say if you're not Christian, I can't relate to you,
Yeah.
kind of thing. You don't want that impression. But it's okay if people do know that you're a believer in whatever way that you are, because those are also people that you're gonna mesh with well.
Yeah.
Those are people that they're gonna trust you. They're gonna,
Resonate with what you're saying.
Exactly.
Your message.
and being Christian or Catholic or whatever whatever it is that whatever religion you are, you resonate with those people, whereas maybe somebody who was completely anti what you believe, anti-Christian, it may not be somebody you want to work with anyway.
Okay.
So that's a fine line. I can't tell you
Yeah.
exactly how to do that or what to do with that, but definitely things that are controversial, I would say no way.
On politics, stay neutral.
Religion is, you're absolutely right.
Honestly,
Religion is,
stay
but
neutral. Have your opinions, but not.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a
You don't
place
want
where
your
you
business
market your
page about-
business and yourself,
yes.
and then there's other stuff. On other places, talk about whatever you want, where you market yourself as a business
Yes.
and as a professional. Do that.
And I think that's what you were saying, right, Bobby? I
Yeah.
think that is,
Yeah.
like, if it's your business, you don't market
Yeah.
your religion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't say.
Yeah.
But if it's your personal page where people are looking to get to know you, it might be okay to put something in there.
People are gonna Google you, they're gonna find out everything anyway.
What you were saying, Chaz, just be mindful. I don't think there are any hard, fast rules. Just be mindful.
Just make sure it's saying what you
Yeah.
want it to say versus what people are just going to imply,
Yeah.
right? And come to their own conclusion. They're gonna do that a little bit anyway, but
Mhm.
just be mindful of that, because the headshot, even something as simple as your photo, right? And this could be headshot, it could be here, it could be body shot, whatever, it's the way you look.
Mhm.
It communicates approachability, competence, stability,
Mm-hmm.
and whether you're the local expert or not, right? If you are selling beach homes in Laguna Beach and you look like you surf all day, well, then you're probably the local expert, right?
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
There's certain things that you communicate even in the way that you take your headshot and the kinds of images that you choose there, the way your hair is done, the way your clothes look, what background is in the image. Just be mindful of those things and make sure that it matches who you are, right?
Phil picked up on that right away.
Yeah.
Because he did the AI photos. And they give you a large sampling of all the different looks. And he pointed out right away, I don't like this one of me where I have my hands, whatever. he
Yeah.
said. That's
It's such a realtor thing, no other photo.
Yeah, and I think that was very intuitive and exactly kind of what we're talking.
Yeah.
If it doesn't feel right, then.
Correct, yeah, of course.
And using things like clean backgrounds versus not a lot going on behind you, you don't want carnival behind you because that's distracting, they're looking at that instead of you. The right framing, you don't want to be like from the side going, hey. A natural smile, don't be like that, let's not have JC Penney looking
Yeah.
here, professional clothing. You're dressed nice, but relatable to the clients that you're shooting for and to who you are. I'm never gonna do a photo in a business suit because that's not me. If AI puts a business suit on me, I'm gonna go swipe because I don't want that. I don't want them to think that's how I'm showing up, because then now they have a certain impression, right? And then it says avoid selfies, busy backgrounds, sunglasses, heavy filters, or casual party photos like you're just having fun. That's fine maybe in your pages when you're trying to show, here's my private social life in addition to what I do at work, but not in your like bio photos or anything like that, right? Keep that one a little more professional. And stick to what you're talking here, building a specific recognition consistently every time. So when they see you, they go, oh yeah, that's Phil, I know that guy. I know a bunch of stuff about him because I've seen his photos and I've seen a little bit about him here and there, right? Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? Just because we're talking about this now, that there are some realtors who will wear a hat in all their photos or wear a scarf because it marks them, or lipstick color.
That's their thing.
That's their
thing.
signature thing.
So
Yeah.
that might be something you might want to play with a little bit. If you
Yeah.
have a signature, something that resonates with you, you might want to think about that. And just
Well, like Al, he's showing his aesthetic way.
I think
How-
right now it is very relevant to him right now. He's still trying to deal with it, and so.
And that's who he is.
Yeah, and that's okay.
But it's serving him because he's inspirational.
Yeah.
He's
So-
using it as a motivator. And he's still working. So it's showing like resilience. So if anything, he's shifted that negative into a huge positive, I think.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Good point.
Some AI photo guidance, same guidelines apply as before as far as backgrounds and things like this. The lighting should look natural, clothing matches what you really actually wear in real life. And then avoiding, the selfie shots and stuff like that.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Because like, I did like the gray suit because it matched my hair. And I like that one, but I won't ever go in a suit.
Mhm.
I'll go casual dress.
Yeah,
That's me, but I won't go in a
Is
suit.
that okay for like open houses? Or-
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
totally wear a suit.
you can wear a
I
suit
think
or go
you mean like having that photo for your marketing. Is that what you mean? Or
That and also like do you wear suits
Being present.
at the,
if you want?
I would
Is it
like to
better?
say something here. I would avoid making some hard rules for yourself, like I'm never gonna wear a suit.
Yeah,
Because I think you might wanna try it.
yeah.
Because something happens when you dress up you feel better about yourself. And if you're doing an open house in a suit, you're definitely gonna come off a little bit more professional than the guy across the street who's not.
Oh, right.
So I wouldn't
And
say,
this too,
No.
you can casually wear
Yeah.
a suit.
Yeah.
So if you forget the tie and you leave your shirt open just a
Oh,
little
yeah,
bit.
yeah.
Now all of a sudden you're like
Nice
a
middle
little more
ground.
casual, a little more approachable. Some people do get very like, oh, guy in a suit, he looks like a lawyer.
yeah,
They do get that kind of like, oh, he looks serious, you know? You wanna be approachable, so dress nice and dress nicer than everybody who's gonna show up.
I look like a used car salesman.
And at an open house, everybody's casual. They're coming in their sweatpants,
Yeah.
right? People aren't dressing up to go to an open house. Now, if you're doing a private showing for a multi-million-dollar home, yeah, wear your suit.
I would wear that, of course.
You know, because that's the pretty dress for you guys. I don't, that's the equivalent of a nice dress for us, right?
Okay.
Say, Phil, was there's a reason you got that picture, right? You
Yeah.
like what you saw, so there was a reason you liked that picture.
yeah.
So I don't think that you have to necessarily wear a suit everywhere you go.
Sure.
But there will be times you want to step up
Yeah.
and you also present, because you like that picture, you present yourself that way, because that you're drawn to that. So just because you're not wearing a suit in a certain time and your picture had a suit on it, it's okay because you present yourself as though you're dressed that way. Maybe it's just a button up, right? You're not wearing flip flops or whatever. So
So even if you Google
That's what I meant.
casual.
you're on track.
If you Google casual business and you, for men, right, you see a lot of styles that don't involve a suit, but it's a nice pair of slacks, it's a nice shirt, it's not a t-shirt,
Yeah.
right? It's not a t-shirt that says something funny, right?
Yeah.
It's something that looks a little bit more professional, it's still casual,
Yeah.
right? Think like I'm going to the golf course thing. I don't know, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
They're still gonna have nice jeans, but nice jacket, like a
Absolutely.
blue jacket and stuff like that. You know, it looks like a suit
Yeah.
jacket.
Well, okay, so let me ask you guys, are you okay with if we end up going a little bit, late? Is that gonna be a problem for
No, I
anybody?
think we can still wrap up. because
Okay.
they can always do that homework at home.
Yeah, so the branding pillars at California Curb Appeal is that your brand is not your logo, it's the feeling that people associate working with you, right? That you're professional, knowledgeable, and that we're community focused. And those are specific to California Curb Appeal, more so than any other brokerage. The rules for brand consistency is that you try to use the same photo everywhere, and also really important, using the same name format everywhere. Don't call yourself one thing here and then another thing here, because then when people Google you, it's harder for it to find you, and it's harder for people to like make that instant recognition. I chose that Ask Monica Now thing, and I'm using it everywhere, right? Because it just worked, but you guys can find the thing that works for you. If you are gonna go with specific colors or fonts, try to continue using them across the board everywhere. And always use the same contact information. Don't put one phone number here, one phone number there, one address here, one address here, one email here, one email here. Just keep it consistent. Agent identity, who do you identify with? Luxury advisor, first-time buyer specialist, a neighborhood expert, or maybe an investor-focused agent? If you can figure out who you identify as the closest, then you can have your branding match that, so that your audience sees that right away. Those that are looking at your information. And it says here that before we go into marketing compliance, I want to touch on the style guide for using the
That's right.
California Curb Appeal logo.
In your
In
Google Drive, the training drive,
Yes, we're
We
gonna
have-
send you a link.
I think I already did.
I used to have access to all of that and I was looking for it when I was making all of my materials and I don't anymore.
Maybe
Not
the,
your fault.
yeah,
Okay, cause I was stressed out. Like, I need
Anything, and when I bring, so I have to put it all back in there.
Oh.
I was building a training drive,
Yeah.
like all of that.
Okay,
So I'll put it back.
okay.
so this guide, it shows you the rules for using our logo. And all the logos themselves too, all the variations of the way that the logos look, all the files for that. they're gonna be there in the drive. And it's a really important, for example, like when you use the California Curb Appeal logo, it should never go on top of something or behind something. There shouldn't be another image or text over it, period, ever.
Can't be smaller than this.
Yeah, like I remember at one point for Christmas, somebody had put like a Christmas hat over the top of it, and you're like, nope, can't go there. You know, I know it looks cute, but the point of that logo is that it always looks the exact same way with nothing touching it. And that's important, that consistency. So when you use it, make sure that you do that appropriately. And then the guide also shows you rules about, you know, how big the font can be, or that, you know, you need to use certain styles of font and things like that. Yeah. So, that little guide is available for you. We'll have a link for
That's
the,
in the training drive already.
in the training drive. We'll have a link to the training drive for you guys, so you can get in there and you can see everything from today. And then from each day, it'll all be in there and access it. So this will be up in there?
The style guide's in there, and then also the DRE marketing.
The slides?
Slides.
And the slides are in there.
Okay, because I think the slides are gonna be helpful if you wanna go back and review some of this information, you know?
And people who can be here obviously want.
Yeah, exactly. And now we're gonna talk real briefly about the Department of Real Estate Marketing Compliance. So these are rules around all of your marketing that you really need to know. And I know might be a lot right now, but since you're gonna be putting together some of these pieces, you need to know some of this stuff. It includes social media posts, videos, flyers, anything you mail out or even give out, like business cards, websites, landing pages. Even your email and text marketing, and definitely your signs or anything that goes out there in online marketing promotions. If the rule of thumb is if the public can contact you because of it, it's considered part of this type of advertising that falls underneath these guidelines. So it wouldn't necessarily maybe apply to like an internal marketing piece within us, within our group, but if you're giving it out to the public. Yeah. Only licensed real estate brokers or salespersons may advertise themselves as being called a realtor, a broker, an agent, or a salesperson, or those common abbreviations, right? And realtor, even more specifically, has its own rules and trademarks, exactly. Some materials are considered first point of contact collateral being types of marketing pieces, such as business cards, flyers, emails, websites, your signs, and social media. Because sometimes that's the first thing they see of you, and they haven't seen anything else. They may have not even talked to you yet. And in these first point of contact pieces, your name needs to be in there, your full name, not just Bobby. And I don't know, are you required to use Roberta or Bobby?
No, I can use whatever I'm using.
Whatever
I
you,
can flip flop,
okay.
but if I start using one name, I have to.
So because you go by Bobby, that's fine.
Right.
You can use it, okay. Your license identification number, the DRE number, and I don't know that it actually needs to have DRE and a number sign behind, in front of it. Sometimes you could just put the number there, right? The responsible broker's licensed name, in other words, California Curb Appeal. And when we do that, does it need to say California Curb Appeal RPS or California Curb Appeal?
It can say RPS, but it has to be the full name.
At least California Curb Appeal. In other words, don't put Cal Curbs, things like that.
Or the logo. The logo will qualify as the broker's
Yeah,
name, license name.
sometimes what I'll do is I'll use the logo California Curb Appeal, and underneath it, not over it, but underneath it, I'll put the broker license number. And now I have all those things there together. And it's the one thing is that the broker's license number is not required if the broker's name or logo appears alongside the person's name and license number. Sometimes I'll put it anyway, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always do like as a rule of thumb, that way I'm never out of compliance.
yeah.
What is this for? Flyers or?
All
of
of
that
that first time of contact.
So-
Those things.
All those.
Business flyers, business cards, flyers, emails, your website, a
Anything
yard sign.
facing
even if you do it, let's say you do a social media post showing a house.
You still have to
That
put
stuff should be at the
in
bottom,
there.
in your caption,
Yeah.
that stuff should be at the bottom. If you're just putting a picture of a home and all the information is only in the picture, then it better be in the corner somewhere.
Got
Yeah,
And then another thing too, I've noticed is if you're marketing someone else's property, you have to put their information in.
you do, now you do.
Caption as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Core advertising principle is all advertising must be truthful, clear, not misleading or deceptive, and substantiated if questioned. In other words, if somebody comes back and says, oh, what does this mean here? Or is this correct? You have to be able to show, yes, it is. Don't ever mislead there or just make it seem like something other than what it is.
And that's especially if you're like, you can buy a home with 0 down. You have to show that you have a program.
Yeah.
You have something, it's,
And like, for example, starting January 2026, there was a new assembly bill that passed that requires real estate agents to disclose when images in a property listing are digitally altered or AI generated, or they're
Like
virtually
staged.
staged, right? So, if you have virtual staging or the sky was changed, right? Or they added grass or made it look green, even though there actually isn't. You have to make a note of that because otherwise it's not true. It's misleading. And people think they're getting something different than what they're getting. So you have to be honest about that. And the basic thing is that this is called core advertising principle. It's carelessness or ignorance is not a defense if the advertising is misleading. So if you didn't know the rule, it's not a good defense. You're still gonna get in trouble for it, right? So you gotta make sure that you're following the rules and know what they are. If you're not sure, check before you put something out. If you're not sure if something looks appropriate, you ask your team lead to review it before you put it out. Even if it's a post or a marketing piece, I don't care, I'll look at it all day long. Bobby can look at it, other people can look at it and say, okay, this is appropriate. You're not doing anything you shouldn't be doing. So. Yeah,
You just talked about that.
yeah, I did. Okay, font size rule. This is a big one. At least as large as the smallest readable text used in the advertising. The font, in other words, they're trying to get away from there's being some font on your marketing that's so small they can barely read it and all the other fonts huge. And I thought it was supposed to be around a specific items were supposed to be no smaller.
They didn't give any specific
They didn't give any
sizes.
specific
They
sizes.
just said it has to be as big as the smallest readable text
Yeah,
used in your advertisement. So if you use a 10 point, that's the smallest, you can't have
then like a little,
DRE license number as an 8.
yeah, exactly.
And mice type is actually a term. I looked
Like
it
it's
up.
so tiny that you can't read
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Social media and online advertising, the DRE treats online advertising the same as traditional advertising. They do that on purpose because it's so common now, right? So all those things about your license needing to be disclosed and included and your broker being identified and everything required to be truthful and current, that applies to any online advertising as well, including social media. If you control the website or page, disclosures must appear there. What
What's the
disclosures are they
question?
talking about that?
License status disclosed.
Oh, yeah,
So, when it first started becoming popular that you advertise online on social media, there was a question whether each post had to include your license number or it could be on your profile page.
yes. And it can be on your profile page. It has to exist somewhere though. If it's not on your profile page in your header, then it better be in every post. But that's why when we talk about social media and setting that up, which will be in a couple of days, we'll talk about the way to optimize that so that it does have all the things you need so that you can do posts where maybe you don't necessarily have to add in all of that info. Sometimes I do a post and I don't even put my name and number. Because it's just a funny post,
Mhm.
right? Still about real estate, but I'm not trying to get people to call me with it.
Mhm.
I'm just, you
Right.
know, like, hey, remember me? Don't forget about me.
Yeah, those I think are different. I think it's
Yeah.
if you're promoting a home.
That's
or-
different.
Or a
Exactly.
sales, there's a call to
Yeah.
action or.
Right.
Yard signs, open house signs, directional signs. If it includes your name, then it becomes a first point of contact advertising. Because somebody might be driving by and that's the first thing they see of yours. So that one needs to have your name, it needs to have your number, and it needs to identify your broker. Every time. So when you, yeah, so when you make your open house signs and your directional signs, or even your yard signs, those have to, you know, fall within those guidelines, and those should always be run by the office before you go to print.
Well, if you, and correct me if I'm wrong, if your directional signs are just an arrow, it's okay because it's okay because your name and number is not on there. But anywhere your name and number or contact
Yeah.
information would be, that's when you have to have the logo or the.
Exactly.
Right.
If the sign includes your name, that's when you need to make sure that you have the number and the brokerage too, because otherwise they don't know who you are.
Exactly.
And they can't follow up and go look you up. At the end of the day, people need to be able to look you up and see, is this an active agent? Is it an agent that has a bunch of stuff on their record? Who is this person? What do they work with? What company do they work with? Prohibited practices. Advertising may not be false or misleading. We talked about that already. Use bait and switch pricing. Can't tell them it's one thing and then they show up with something else. Advertise unavailable offers, like maybe we'll give you the option to lease, but then they show up and there isn't one. Misrepresent experience or credentials, aka your own experience and credentials. You are allowed to say that we have sold this many properties, our group, our team, things like this. You can use that kind of language, but you can't say I did unless you did.
Mm.
Imply unearned designations. Sometimes people say I'm a something specialist. And if that's a designation that you can actually earn through credits and teaching and a course and things like that, then you shouldn't imply that you have it unless you actually do. Saying you're a neighborhood expert, I think is a little different, because that's just, I know the area.
Yeah.
Or use discriminatory language. Obviously, that is never allowed in anything we do, ever.
Realtor advisor.
What's that?
Realtor advisor,
Yeah,
that's okay.
realtor advisor? Yes, I would,
That'd be a little redundant.
that, it might be a little redundant, and I think people would go, what does that mean? You know, unless you can clearly say what it means, you have to think how do other people understand? Who aren't in the industry, who don't really understand what you do. Perhaps you could say home buyer advisor or home seller advisor. That would be more specific. Just an idea. Okay. Oh, right back here where we were talking about prohibited practices. Wait, hold on a second. I missed my mark here. Yes, broker responsibility. Responsible brokers must be able to review all your advertising, establish a compliance system, and supervise affiliated licensees. And I mean, we have compliance guidelines based on the DRE and the California Association. And we should always be running things by the office, especially if it's a marketing that's going to go out, because you have to realize at the end of the day, it's not just marketing for you and your business, it's also marketing for California curb appeal. So this is one of the reasons why we need to make sure that we come across consistently all the time. Come across in a professional way consistently. When it comes to advertising, all needs to be run by compliance. If you are advertising on social media in most jurisdictions, particularly in California, it is not enough to only have your license number in your social media profile bio. The DRE requires that your license number and broker affiliation appear on every post that constitutes a first point of contact or solicitation type post, such as a property listing, open house promotion, or service advertisements. So if you're talking about, here's what I do, here's what I sell, or here's what I'm showing this weekend, or here's this open house, even if it's not yours, even if you're promoting somebody else's listing because you like it and it's pretty and you want to tell people about it and find buyers. If you're talking about things that you do in business, then that's when your information should appear every time in those types of posts. If it's like, hey, I love helping people when I go show houses, or here's this cute, funny post like I like to do. Some of those, I'm not promoting anything with that. I'm not asking for anything from that. I'm just trying to entertain and keep them engaged. That's a little different.
Yeah, you're not.
Yeah, because there's posts for engagement and that kind of thing and connection, and then there's posts for I'm promoting.
However, the rule of thumb is when in doubt.
Do
put
it.
it.
Absolutely. If you're not sure, add it. Yeah. It's easy enough to add it at the bottom of every caption. If I wanted to, that'd be easy enough to do. Yeah. But they're limiting our caption lengths now.
Really?
They gotta stop changing the rules. Okay, so now that you understand how brands create feeling and the advertising guidelines, we're gonna write a bio for yourself. Something that can make client feel something before they ever actually meet you, right? By the end of the session, I want you guys to leave with a polished, compliant, authentic, professional biography that you can use on a website, on a profile, on the MLS, on your Savvy card, on social media pages, anywhere. You might want to create a Zillow profile or one on realtor.com or one on homes.com or one on some page that a lender let you put your profile onto, wherever.
LinkedIn.
A LinkedIn profile, or even a bio that you include as part of your marketing package when you show up to a buyer, appointment or a listing appointment.
Right.
You should have what I would consider a resume, and that's going to have at least your bio, right? So in your bio itself isn't your resume. It's more about what you want to say about yourself to those who are reading it, what impression you want to leave them with. It's almost an introduction. Think of it that way. It's not necessarily, here's everything I am, here's everything I've done. It's more of just a, hey, here's who I am. Exactly.
I have a question.
So when it comes to, say, a resume for real estate, when you are someone new, how would you present that? Or you know what I mean? Because that's one thing I run into. I don't want people to think, oh, you're new. I don't want to use you.
We can talk about that. I'll show you. Yes. If we're just talking about the bio right now, which is kind of the starting point for that, a strong one should show them who you help, how you can do that, what makes working with you different than every other agent, because there's a lot of us to choose from, and why clients feel confident choosing you. So sometimes things that you've heard from your clients, or not necessarily even your clients if you've never had any before, but it could be people you've worked with before, or those that are closest to you that can talk about your qualities. And before typing anything, write answers to these questions. Why did you get into real estate? Who do you naturally enjoy helping? We've gone through some of these already today. What strengths do people compliment you on? Any previous experience and career experience, life experience that applies here? What makes clients feel comfortable with you, or your community connections, for example, or what do you want to become known for? And not just because I want to help you, because a lot of bios read that way. I love selling real estate and helping people. Okay, everyone says that. Everyone says that, and we all know that we feel that. We like working with people and selling real estate, otherwise we wouldn't be doing this. But there's got to be more than that that's unique to you. Got to go a step beyond.
Put your why in there.
Yeah, exactly. So one of the things we can do is use ChatGPT to help us, because chat is awesome. And if you don't have a ChatGPT account, you can use Gemini as well. There's
The free account.
the free accounts too. Yeah.
Set up a free account for yourself if you don't have one, because you will use it again and again and again.
Yeah. It's super quick. You go in there and you have to give it a prompt first, right? So that the prompt that you give a chat GPT or any AI is usually the thing that's gonna give you a better response or a better result, right? And think whatever response or result you get, you could tweak it from there. So just have a place to start. But one of the things that is good is to tell chat, act as a professional, real estate marketing writer. Write a warm, professional real estate agent biography using the information below. And you're gonna add some information there about yourself, right? And you're gonna say, make it sound authentic, trustworthy, and client focused, not salesy. Keep it this long, whatever the number is, maybe 150, maybe 200 words. If you want a longer version, make a longer version too. And then you're gonna put like what is that? Not semicolon, colon, right? And then you're gonna add the information about yourself that you've written down. The things about you, your history, your skills, the people you want to work with.
Mission, vision, values.
Mission, vision, values. You're gonna put those in there too. You're gonna add as much information as you can, and you can even add things like, I specialize working in the Inland Empire, or in this part of it, or I prefer to work with buyers, or whatever you want to put there, right? And then let it do its thing. And once it spits out the bio, you read it and you go, does this sound like me? Do I need to tweak this and say, hey, this sounds a little too casual. I need this to be a little bit more professional. Or this sounds too professional. I need it more friendly. Or I need it shorter, or take out this one bit over here. I don't like it. You just talk to it as if it's a person, as if it's your marketing dude, and tell it what you want it to tweak until it sounds exactly how you want it to sound.
Can we find out who has not worked with ChatGPT? You all have. Great. Okay.
I love it.
Huge step there. So we're gonna take the next, let's say 40 minutes till 3:00. And you're going to go ahead and write your bio. We're gonna be here to help you.
Yeah.
And